how many problems I've been had. After the yeah, I think some I
How accessible are buses? Really? Being a wheelchair user myself, I have found in the UK that accessibility for wheelchair users on public buses can differ between different companies and styles of bus. These differences can be major or minor and can make all the difference. This video will identify areas of difficulty and try to offer suggestions as to how to make using the bus easier. I compared a few different buses. First bus in Portsmouth. The Star bus in Portsmouth. And the London bus. Firstly, the driver has to get up and physically put the ramp out. Most of the time this is okay, however sometimes drivers can be resistant. If the ramp unfolded automatically it would be easier for everyone. The corner by the door is incredibly tight for me to get around it. Unfortunately, there's not much that can be done here as this is over the wheels. However, if the step up to these seats was a flip-up step it would give slightly more room. It's very difficult to maneuver around the pole, getting in and out of the wheelchair area because the space is very tight for turning. It would be so much easier if the pole wasn't there at all. There must be a better solution for securing the wheelchair. At the very least if it was located 6 inches to a foot towards the front of the bus, and the wheelchair area was bigger with one more flip-up seat, it would give more room to turn. Therefore would take less time to get into position. I find getting off the bus more difficult because I have to make a 3-point turn while navigating the pole. Plus if people are sitting in the seats opposite it makes it even more difficult. Like I said before, if that pole wasn't there or at least relocated and also if the pole opposite was gone it would give more room to turn my wheelchair. Going towards the door is made more difficult by the handrail because it is just at the wrong height to run into. If the handrail was repositioned slightly, it would make it easier to get past. You can see better here how difficult it is getting around this corner. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if there's an easy solution for this as this area is over the wheels of the bus. Just like first bus, the driver has to get up and physically put the ramp out. If the ramp unfolded automatically, it would be easier for everyone. Again, the corner by the door is tight for me to get around it. Unfortunately, there's not much that can be done here as this is over the wheels. However, having these seats facing forward does make it easier to get through. If these seats didn't stick out into the aisle, it would give slightly more room to get past. I can't express enough how much I prefer this design of wheelchair space, and how much easier it is to get into place without that dreaded pole in the way. Getting off can be slightly more challenging because there is a fixed handbar opposite the wheelchair space that could get in the way as I'm turning my chair. If this bar didn't stick out as far, or better yet, have the same design as the wheelchair area with the handbars by the windows, it would be much easier to get by. Whereas I didn't have much trouble going towards the doors, the front seats could get in the way for some people to get through. Again, if these seats didn't stick out into the aisle, it would give slightly more room to get past. I was pleased to see the handrail was higher on this bus. I didn't run into it this time. Compared to other buses, I didn't have much trouble at all with the corner by the door when I was getting off this bus. I really like with the London buses, the ramp comes out automatically, making me feel so much more independent. Also, the wheelchair area is right opposite the door. This means I can drive straight into the space, saving time. The pole did prevent me from getting into the space properly. However, that wasn't too much of an issue as there was enough room for people to get around my chair. The real problem came when I was trying to get off. I had trouble maneuvering around the pole and turning. This took time, holding up the bus. If the seat by the wheelchair space was a flip-up seat and the poles weren't there or at least relocated, it would give more room to turn. One thing that every city bus in this country have in common is that wheelchair users are expected to ride backwards. Whereas I think I understand the reason, there are a few difficulties with this. Sitting backwards makes it extremely difficult to see where I'm going and know when to press the belt to get off. This can prevent people from having the confidence to ride the bus independently. I am impressed to see that the Star bus has a small mirror above the wheelchair area. Whereas it helps a little if the mirror was the whole width of the wheelchair space or have another mirror on the other side by the window. It would allow me to see out the window behind me where the bus is heading and when to push the belt to get off. The thing that really annoys my husband and me is the fact that there's only one wheelchair area on buses. This means we can't go out together. If there were at least 2 spaces for wheelchair users, my husband and I could travel together. In conclusion, access on public transport has come a long way in the last 30 years, but there is still some way to go in order to make it truly accessible.